guests that are waiting outside can please come inside the auditorium. Thank you very much, guys, for joining this particular event. So, good morning, everyone, and good morning, cybersecurity leaders. I am Ashish Hegde, your host for the event today. I'm going to crack some jokes if you don't find it funny, but I would like you to still laugh at it. Thank you very much. So, how are you feeling today?
Good.
Great. I think so. The energy was blocked by a firewall. How are we feeling today?
Good.
Great. Fantastic, guys. Fantastic. Welcome to Pinnacle 2025, where the only thing that is sharper than our firewalls is the total IQ in this particular room. Today is all about innovation, inspiration, and yes, trying to figure out whether AI will replace us or simply take coffee breaks with us. So, but I would like to thank the sponsors first: Samay Info Solutions, Checkpoint, Sonic Wall, PSR IT Services, Raksha and Pagentra Infosec, Prognosis IT Consultancy, Secure V2, and the media platform Bharat CXO. And now, to officially light this spark for setting the cyber stage and start this electrifying day, I would like to invite a man who needs no introduction. Please put your hands together for Mr. Venkatraman to lead this lighting ceremony and kickstart with our today's agenda. I would like to welcome Jyotsna R, CEO Candid Brains, Mr. Jitesh Shah from Samay Info Solutions, representatives from Checkpoint, Sonic Wall, and PSR IT Services to help us to light this particular stage. Thank you, everyone. With this, the stage is officially lit, and I mean literally and metaphorically. To carry forward this wonderful beginning, I invite a woman of insight, leadership, and someone who brings calm even in the noisiest cyber storm, who would open the stage with a brief for Cyber Pinnacle 2025 Summit and Awards. Please welcome Jyotsna R, CEO of Candid Brains, for the opening note.
Good morning. A very warm welcome to the World of Cybersecurity Annual Summit and Awards Cybersecurity Pinnacle 25. To our amendment and emerging leaders in cybersecurity, it is a privilege to have you all here as a part of the event today. We set the cyber stage for a full day of critical deliberation. We gathered today, Friday, December 19, 2025, not just to recognize excellence, but to shape our futures of digital world. This year marks a tremendous milestone to the successful completion of our second year as a unified platform. The journey so far has been nothing short of tremendous, and it is unwavering support and participation that makes this possible. Thank you all.
So coming to our next speaker is going to decode the complexity of Indian cyber landscape. Please welcome Mr. Venkata Ramana Ratnakar, leading CISO with his deep expertise, strategic vision, and years of impactful contribution towards cybersecurity landscape. Are you ready to immerse yourself in this thought-provoking, forward-looking, and perspective from one of the most respected voices in the cybersecurity domain? He's going to cover addressing the cost and complexity of Indian cybersecurity landscape, Cyberdome framework.
Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
Welcome to Cyber Pinnacle 2025. I would like to appreciate the continuous support of cybersecurity leaders and also partners like Sama Info Solutions, Checkpoint, Sonic Wall, PSR IT Services, Pejantram, Raksha Technologies, and Pragamsis. Today, I would like to cover an important topic that is most relevant for our Indian cybersecurity landscape. So, we are all aware about certain 15 cyber defense elementary controls for MSME, and I am going to present the challenges in terms of cost and complexity in Indian cybersecurity landscape, especially for MSME. So, when we look at Indian landscape, so 67% increase in cyber attacks, and primary target is MSME. Why I pick MSME, not enterprise means MSME, these micro, small and medium enterprises are backbone of India. Almost more than 95% in the Indian industry occupied by MSME. So, if MSME organizations are not secure, or means they are not secured enough to tackle the ever evolving cyber attacks. That means from MSME, anyone can launch supply chain attack. So these MSMEs are serving for enterprises, and if hackers, if they couldn't compromise enterprise, they can enter through MSME, because MSME sector has a lot of challenges that I am going to present here. And the cybersecurity business opportunity for cybersecurity companies in MSME segment is roughly around $3 billion+. So the advantage with CyberDome is it is a unified platform with simplicity, led by experienced and expertise CISOs, cost effectiveness, and rapid deployment. So, going forward, simplification is the ultimate security posture for both MSME and enterprise. If technology is simple to learn, simple to use, simple to implement, and simple to manage, anyone can adopt the technology.
Focus on proactive, real-time threat detection and real-time elimination stroke. So now up next, zero threat plus zero trust is equal to zero problems, at least in theory. Let's welcome Manikanda Prabhu, workspace specialist. Hi Manikanda. From Checkpoint. Manikanda will explore the cutting-edge strategies for designing and implementing future-ready digital workspaces. Learn how to safeguard your organization by embracing next-gen workspaces with zero threat and zero trust.
The following sessions, whatever that has been there, makes it informative. So I'll not take much of a time. Probably this presentation is shared where Karthik is our AI expert who will be talking about AI solutions, what we have. And as introduced, I take care of the workspace security business for the country. So basically, I'll be talking about it, and then followed by that, Karthik will be talking about AI security. So the term workspace, what does it mean? So it's about your users, your applications, what they access, and how do they access. This is what has become a talking point post-COVID, or when the COVID occurred. Because we had a traditional way of getting into office, working from office, and then we had a limited people traveling outside office where we have to worry about their securities and concerns. But later, post-COVID, everything changed. Everyone was accessing it either from office, from third-party places, or it might be anywhere where they're traveling. So security becomes a very key thing, and workspace becomes a major part which has to be secure. So we have been doing this, and this became a priority for us. Basically, Gartner also came up with this particular idea of a workspace security. That's where we always align with Gartner and any leading forums. And this particular theme is also based on that. So starting with your endpoint security, the next comes your critical email security, which is much required, and then your user access and the application access, which we are talking about. So this comprises of the workspace security. The workspace security revolves around the major thing is about your endpoint security. So I'll not run through the entire thing. So probably a couple of key highlights. We are the only provider who give EPP and EDR. We can coexist with any of the EPPs which are there. And a couple of differentiations what we given. We give you a complete vulnerability management with the advanced threat level detections, which we have a tie with Intel, which is there, which means we don't rely on your shadow copies, Windows shadow copies, where we have our own images, which will make us effective if in case of an attack which happens, which is being used. And this particular threat cloud AI which we are talking about, we have been using this since 10 years, where AI was just a buzzword before 10 years, or it might be people were exploring what is AI. So with that note, we also are getting into AI security, where we have acquired a new company, which Karthik will be talking about it in the next slides. Thank you for your time.
Thanks, Mani, for that. Okay, before I go into the next set of slides and I talk about like what is happening in the AI, I just want to understand like how many of you folks are in the AI space. That's one. And how many of you are actually using any of the AI applications, be it for personal use or be it for professional use, anything of that sort? Like just a show of hands is fine. Okay. I see that most of you are interested in this, and most of you are actually using some of the AI solutions out there in the market. And what is actually happening is this field is constantly evolving. Okay. This is something that is new even for us. We're not going to say that we are an expert in this, and whatever security that we are providing, that's the only security that is there in the market. There are a few other niche players as well who have done some amazing work and are continuing to do some really good work in this space. Now, what we have done is we've been in the security space for more than 30 years now. And since we've been in this space and that we've been evolving in that, like we've acquired a lot of companies, we are the market leaders when it comes to firewalls. Now we also wanted to integrate the AI solutions into that and provide AI security for all the applications out there in the market. So the LLMs that you're creating, those remain secure, so that whatever applications are going to get integrated at the end of the day, those will also remain secure. Now, to address these four major risks, this is where the entire solution of Lakera, or the backbone of Lakera, comes into play. The first one is prompt injection prevention. So in the prompt injection prevention, so it will understand the context. It will also understand the intent, the context of the prompt. Whether a prompt is malicious in nature, whether a prompt has some a payload attached to it. It can be in the form of a PDF, it can be in the form of an image, or anything of that sort. How do you ensure that those prompts are secure? So this, whenever a user gives a prompt, Lakera will run in the backend and see the understand the context, understand the intent, and block the prompt there and there itself. The next one is data leakage prevention. Any of the PII data, PCI data, it can be HIPAA data, compliance data, any of that sort. If someone is trying to access that data, it is also going to block the user from accessing that. Next one is what kind of content controls do you have? You have cases where a lot of the times there are policies which are already in place, but the policies keep changing. Now, how do you ensure that those policies, because it's a very manual task, whenever there is a policy change that happens, or whenever there are different kinds of changes that happen in the industry and all.
Construct Falcon or Decorative Future or Isologic is the same kind of that could integrate with any kind of SIM tool?
No, it's more of our own thread cloud. It's our own system, database that we've created. Since we've been in the industry for such a long time, we've analyzed each and every thread that is there in the market, and we've trained the AI cloud in such a way that, okay, even though there are new kinds of threads that are coming in, or if it's a known thread that is already there in the market, so it's our own proprietary database, that's what you can say, and we've integrated that across all the solutions that Checkpoint is offering.
So with regards to the integration with the SIEM tool generally, so your Checkpoint solution may be integrated, like your EDR, may get integrated to any of the SIEM tools. So is that a possibility in Threat Cloud AI too?
Okay, let me make it simple. So this Threat Cloud AI is about our internal capability. What we do is we collect all the telemetries from the customer environment. We try to make a sense of it, do a correlation, and then we put back the same to the customers with the threat levels which are there. So if you are looking out for a threat intelligence alone, I was talking about offering called as Cyber-End, which has a global and a dedicated threat intelligence which can be offered. Threat Cloud is just to show you the capability of what is the AI and ML technologies which you are using far before when the AI developers. So we have been using it for 10 plus years.
be talking about SonicWall, its transformation, some of the core trends that we see in the digital transformation of companies, and I'll talk about some of the solutions, a basic high-level overview. So let's see what is SonicWall. So some of you may have already heard about SonicWall. SonicWall is a 34-year-old industry veteran. It's a cybersecurity leader with over 5 lakh customers, presence across 200 plus countries, and we are based out of US. It's a US company based in Milpitas, California. And we have around 300 plus patents from US government, which is primarily on network security and access security. So SonicWall is basically known for the last 30. So in summary, so this is my last slide. In summary, SonicWall today is not just a firewall or an appliance-based company. It's a cyber security platform, and whether you are an SMB or an enterprise, we provide multiple use cases, like we provide SD branch, network segmentation, endpoint threat protection, SD Office 365 security, SaaS security, etc. With this, I end my presentation. If you have any questions, thank you.
Is there any lessons learned from your own experiences which we need to look at?
I think we are in one of the most dynamic environment. There are always lessons. We always learn, we always forward. If you see, when I spoke about network security manager, I was trusting on we are scaling, right? When we initially started this 3 or 4 years back, in fact, I will give you the exact number. 1,72,000 firewalls are integrated with the SaaS platform.
How frequently you make the updates, firmware updates and other things?
It's now very frequent. We do every 3 months to 6 months. There is a minor firmware, or we call it as maintenance release. So it's very frequent, yes. Antivirus, it doesn't use the signature database or anything. And it's completely provided from the cloud, the management console. So it basically uses all your device control, your USB control, your USB blocking, Bluetooth blocking, all those things.
It uses all my devices signatures, so it will have all my endpoints, all my addresses, all my privileges.
Yes, you will have, but then it is not based on any signature database. It's a behavior-based monitoring.
That was smoother than a seamless single sign-on experience. Now the topic everyone secretly fears but publicly loves, because let's be honest, if AI decides to take over, we all will be too busy training to notice. Please welcome Mr. Bala Prasad P, Chief Innovation Officer TCS, who with extensive expertise in technological innovation, digital transformation and enterprise solutions, and his insights will empower us to navigate the evolving cybersecurity landscape with clarity and confidence. Mr. Bala will speak today on AI in 2026 and beyond.
Thank you, Venkat, for inviting me for this particular talk. So, isn't it exciting to know about the future? Good morning, everyone. Maybe it's good afternoon, everyone. So, we all know that we are using AI in 2020, AI in our daily lives. In fact, I would say that AI is no longer a topic which is only discussed and deliberated in the professionals, but it is also discussed and deliberated in families. How many of you discuss about AI in the family? How many of your family members use AI? Fantastic. I'm not surprised, because same happens in my family. So in fact, my wife was saying that I want to use, nowadays you are not seeing about Gemini, right? So a lot of interior designing people are trying to do using AI. This is my home, this is what I want to do for my room, suggest me. Very beautiful suggestions are coming in. Now, let's come back to the situation. The situation is very, very simple and profound. What I want to say is every technology what we are trying to see or adopted over the years
has been very, very incremental in nature, whether it is a cloud or mobile or analytics. But they all followed one particular pattern. One is faster, second is cheaper, and more scalable with the time. It is the same happened with the AI also. Now what happened was like AI within the organizations, people have started using like a upgrade kind of a capability. They were trying to utilize the co-pilots, conversational agents, and many more. Trying to deploy more tools, trying to experiment. But over the period of time, they start realizing that AI is not more incremental, but it is more disruptive in nature. What does that mean? What happens in the future? In 2026 and beyond, how AI is going to take over? If we start giving a thought to it, we start realizing the fact that AI is becoming much more agentic in nature. When I say agentic in nature, AI is going to cross a very important structural boundary, because it will start acting, responding, and learning from the kind of things. So when AI starts reasoning, there is much more of autonomous capabilities which are going to come in. When autonomous capabilities are coming, there is a huge amount of disruption which is expected to happen. And that changes every aspect of the landscape. You try to talk about architecture, you try to talk about the risk management, you try to talk about the leadership accountability, everything gets transformed. And it is very profound to understand that this particular landscape is going to give huge amount of competitive advantage for the people who are able to embrace AI in the true spirit. So, and also try to utilize the context of the AI by orchestrating the intelligence. It's not about using the AI. It's about orchestrating the intelligence on the AI, which is going to make a bigger and bigger impact. And that's where the entire talent paradigm is also getting changed. There is a lot amount of focus which is given in the area of how talent is going to be repurposed for the outcomes. Having said that, let's try to understand some of the important curve associated to the AI. You are trying to drive the change. You have the attackers using the AI field, and defenders are also using the AI field to ensure that how you try to drive this particular entire battlefield navigation. So today, if you're trying to look from the attacker dimensions, it's all about the speed attacks, model exploits, and synthetic identity, which is getting really bypassing a lot of traditional systems. Similarly, the defender systems are also very, very important, which is trying to explore the self-defense mechanisms, which is trying to deploy and try to bring in the deception operations, not just blocking attackers, but misleading them with the high fidelity decoys. So this paradigm shift is very, very important, and you need to really focus upon bringing the prompts which are very much focused in nature. This is a note I wanted to touch from the perspective what you need to really look at. As a leader, you will need to understand that we are not replacing the people, but we are trying to replace people who are not using the AI. With that small note of message, I leave the talk here, but I just want to say that 2026 and beyond is very, very futuristic in nature, and if you really wanted to drive, you need to deeply apply AI, orchestrate intelligence into your systems. That will make a big, big change. Thank you.
Sound more exciting and slightly scary actually. I would like to invite Josna, our CEO of Candid Brains, to felicitate Mr. Prasad with a token of appreciation.
You can get more, yeah.
Now, okay, cyber leaders, time for some real fireworks now. Our first panel discussion, everybody will be waiting for. So the topic is compliance convergence, navigating DPDP, CBCSCRF, and certain controls for MSMEs. So please welcome our distinguished panelists, Mr. Harvinder Gill, VP Cybersecurity from State Street, who will be moderator for this session. Sir, I would like to please have a seat right now. I want the seats to be placed here. I'm sorry, Harvinder sir. Dilip Kumar Mukundan, CISO of Indian Financial Technology and Allied Services. Mr. Venkata Subbaraju, CISO iBasis. And Ritika Banerjee, Cyber Strategy, ADM, Accenture. Over to you, sir. Thank you.
Welcome. DPDP, yeah. Before we start with the introduction, right, one question to the audience. Anyone of you have started DPDP by now? Implementation, discussions, okay, all right. So then I think we can have a very engaging session that we see that people are already engaged with that. My name is Arvindo. I work in State Street, almost 20 years of experience in cybersecurity. I built a center of excellence within GCC environment in State Street for the last 4 years. And that's the reason I joined State Street from Microsoft. And Microsoft, I was handling corporate security. And I live in Hyderabad. I came from Roorkee. Roorkee is my hometown. So while I was building a COE, I saw that there was a challenge in terms of talent, right? And we'll also talk about it. Talent in terms of, let's say, the requirement was that I wanted to hire a 200 people team, ramping it up to build a different cyber capabilities. And I never got that kind of people in a short ramp, right? So there was a challenge. So by looking at the challenge, I started writing a book in terms of how we can put everything together and build more of a cyber architectural acumen. And I'm pleased to share that my book is coming next month and it would be available on Amazon. Please do go to Amazon, get a copy for yourself and do leave your feedback. Thank you. Over to you, Venkatesh.
Good morning, all. My name is Venkatramana Ratnatharam. I'm working as a CISO for one of the financial entities. I carry more than 25 years experience in technology field. And cyber security, information security is my core function. Yeah, thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I am Chiti. I am Group CEO for Arvindo Pharma. We are into pharma. Actually, pharma is under major threats. We have solutions that are being implemented. My colleague, we are implementing a lot of solutions on cybersecurity, and we are again evaluating so many new products as well.
Hello everyone, good afternoon. I am Ritika Banerjee. I am from Kolkata and currently working as a senior consultant for cyber strategy. And my major area of consultancy in the GRC domain has been into data privacy, cyber security, in the ISO, GDPR, and now for the India market we have DPDP. For the last 6.5 years, we have been really spearheading a lot of requirements, and for the last 7 years, especially for DPDP context, I was also one of the key members of the GDPR task force as well as the DPDPA SME board, and working closely with NASSCOM and Data Security Council of India in formulating the feedback and the clauses, the comments from the last, through the, I'll say the journey from DPDP bill to act, and now we have what is DPDP rules. So I'm really looking forward to have an interactive discussion with all, and it has been a great journey for all of us. Roller coasters, we learned a lot of things, and then finally we are out here with the rules and discuss here. So looking forward to it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Raju, CISO of iBasis. I joined in less than 4 years back in the company. I take care of the cybersecurity domain and data privacy domains together.
Sure, thank you. So, DPDP, let's start with the first thing that comes to my mind, that, let's say as an organization, Rituga, this question to you. We see that the first thing comes by sitting in the enterprises is the cost, right? Any act, whether it's SOX or it's DPDP or GDPR kind of things, everything need a budget, a cost to be implemented and those kind of things. And that's a talk in the boardroom which is going on right now, right? And it's not an easy things to be done because data was never being collected in a way that data can be processed as a personal different data and the enterprise obligatory as a separate data kind of things, right? So how do you see that these compliance as a cost versus it can bring a trust and a brand differentiation?
So that's a very good question. So in fact, since we are talking about MSMEs, especially in this panel, the biggest tussle which we enter in, should we invest this much of amount, right? So is compliance necessary? How important is compliance, especially when we're talking about privacy, right? So security solutions, cybersecurity regulations, the HIPAA compliance related to health data and all those have gained some momentum over the last few years, but at least if we're talking about Indian MSC from an Indian perspective, well, privacy is perhaps the last thing we look up to invest.
Yeah.
It's always been seen as a cost center. But not just because today we have DPDPR, but from the customer centricity standpoint, this is no more a choice, right? We have to ensure that our data is protected because data is no more just an asset, it is the biggest threat.
DP compliant consent. So these are the two different kind of data, right? So how these companies should take care of this consent versus legal obligation data?
Yeah, thank you. Very good question, in fact. Like say, in any organization, legal, compliance, and information security function work together to achieve both data privacy and data protection. So, information security function takes care about implementation of various security controls and also the awareness among the stakeholders, be it employees or customers. So any regulation or compliance, success depends on awareness. So without awareness, we can't enforce a governance policy or a compliance. So without awareness, it will create gaps in the legal system. So information security function, legal function, and compliance function work as a cross-functional teams to achieve this common goal. And also, let's say, while collecting data from employees or from customers, so we should enforce a consent. So taking consent from the concerned person and then inform that user about what is this consent meant for, how this data will be used, how this data will be processed. And also, let's say, in banks or in many financial entities, the consent is part of the user onboarding. While onboarding any customer, so generally we ensure the consent in the loan application while gathering information about the customer. But customer doesn't know much about data privacy or data protection. So data protection is not only IT or InfoSec activity, but data protection is for all. Like say all means legal, compliance, information security, IT, and also customer.
There's a lot of experience sitting over here, and we all have grown handling data privacy act of other continents, other geographies, other countries kind of things. And this is the first time we are talking about our own citizens' data, how to protect and how to communicate. So with the same, Chitti Babu, I'm coming to you is data retention versus right to erase, right? So as a pharma, let's say if you're collecting the data of customers, one is how do you communicate them, or how you want to communicate them as part of this DPDP Act, and also how do you want to balance the intention that is required as part of DPDP Act's right to erase.
Thank you. So we are pharma, we have a lot of regulatory compliances. We have to retain the data at least till we retain the product, or till we say that the end of the life of the product, and we no more produce the product. Till that time, definitely data retention is mandatory for us. For even, let's say for example, if we retain the product and we have to retain the data for next 5 years after retirement. So we are retaining the product after 3 years, then up to 8 years we need to protect the data for future audits. Again, that's not the end of the line. And future audits may reference this particular experiments or compliances even beyond 8 years. So we cannot say that now we can definitely erase the data. Now, if you see from the DPDP Act point of view, and even on the Cyber Security Act point of view, there are multiple things are going on, right? If any individual raises or requests that his data can be removed then we have to remove the data within 30 days as per DPDP Act. Now, is it necessary that we need to refer, then if there is a link, if there is some kind of attachment to the other regulatory compliances, then we are forced to retain the data. We cannot just like that erase the data as per the individual's request. So that right now, I know the time was given 18 months for DPDP Act enforcement with other industries. What I am thinking, my thought process is, we also need to have some kind of a disclaimer saying that your personal data will be retained if there is an attachment to any of the regulatory compliances. It can be RBI, it can be SEBI, it can be even the DPDP Act. Okay, then provided if there is no attachment under any circumstances, that data can be removed. But references cannot be removed if there is any kind of attachments. That's that's my thought process.
Related to the board, data protection board. So have you taken any reasonable security safeguards before it happens? So there it comes with a detailed report that needs to be sent across to the DPDP board. So that's where we tweak our the information security incident management procedures and guidelines, etc. So that what needs to be communicated to the certain, and because in the certain itself we have some kind of the defined template is available in the MIT website, so you can download that and you can use that form for this purposes for the sake of the DPDP related or the data privacy related breaches. So far there is no specific template, but at the same time we should not say that I don't know what kind of data is being getting breached. So all the CISOs or because we are talking about MSMEs in total. So the CISO needs to be knowing about the regulatory aspects. CISO needs to know about the legalities of the things, and CISO needs to know data privacy aspects. Earlier the CISO is meant only for the looking into the security aspects. Now CISO is also be a business enabler, and some part of his or should be legal. Some should be like I would say the regulatory aspects he should know, and some technical aspects. So it's kind of CISO is becoming like more famous in terms of not only protecting the data, but in terms of the preventing the organizations the complete data as well as the customers' data or the users' data, and all together it is. So there are two variations you can see, and we can tweak our, the information security management, the incidents and the stuff. The 6 servers, what needs to be taken, and in the couple of forums we just discussed about this point. What I understood from the industry experts and who participate in the DPDP Act, law, finalization, all the stuff. What they're saying is, when you submit a report to the certain, you can ask for the external timeline, which is quite accepted. But you need to mention that along with your report. But all organizations must have now, I think, registered with the certain for getting the advisories, I guess. If not, I would advise to do that. So there you have all these information is coming in for you all. So that's why we can do this way, reporting kind of structure in 6 servers and 72 hours.
Got it, fair enough. So as you said that there has to be gates in the incident response where it says that okay, there are certain 6 hours and then 72 hours and extra time can be asked based on the kind of incidents that we're going through. Yeah, of course, thank you. And of course, CISO neck is always on the fire, so Mr. CISO, best of luck.
So KPIs depends or varies with respect to organization size, right? The ultimate KPI is to meet the compliance. So percentage of compliance with respect to customer consent or if customer revokes consent, so how many revokes requests per quarter, whether our data is up to date with respect to consent management, whether our incident response is in line with our compliance, whether required controls for consent management as well as data protection or data privacy are in place or not.
Thank you, Nikita. So I think with that, we will close this discussion. Thank you. It was a super wonderful discussion and we have learned a lot. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, panelists. Thank you very much for this insightful discussion on DPDP. Lunch, guys. So please eat well, recharge well, and come back with even more powerful. We'll be